Welcome to r/AITA, where we get to judge people on their situations. AITA for telling my estranged father that he and his wife can be grandparents to his other kids' future children. My parents divorced when I was 15 because my dad had been cheating on my mom with a co-worker of hers. My younger brother was 13 and my sister was 12. I became estranged from him around that time. My siblings followed suit. My full siblings anyway. I have 2 half siblings who are older than me and my other siblings. They were jerks to us because we were angry our dad hurt our mom, etc. And they made it clear if we didn't want our dad, they didn't want us. So ever since I consider him my estranged father and not even my dad. I'm now married and I have 2 little boys. I only see my father and his wife once every 3 years or so when there's a paternal family event of some kind. Last year there was a milestone birthday for my grandpa, and throughout the day people went to see him. When I was leaving, my father showed up and he saw that I had kids. After that he tracked me down on social media and started saying how he and his wife would love to be grandparents and how she was unable to have kids, so no bo grandkids and all that stuff. I replied once and told him that he could ask his other kids if she could be grandma to their future kids because they were not welcome in my life or the life of my kids. He responded several more times, but I just ignored him. He then decided to get my great aunt involved and say that my boys deserve to have more loving grandparents if their grandparents are willing, and that I made his wife cry when I wrote what I did and I was insensitive. My reply was she was insensitive to sleep with a married man with 2 children, but apparently that was no big deal. And it goes beyond that to how she treated my mom at work while the affair was happening. She even got fired over it because she was bullying another colleague of my mom's too. It's not the type of family I want around my kiddos. They'll be fine with a loving grandma from me and 2 loving grandpas from their dad. So tell me AITA for what I said. Now for the judgment. Your estranged father had a chance to stay in your life and he blew it. He also could have tried to reconnect with you later and didn't until he found out, years after the fact, that you had something he wanted, your kids. Sucks to be him. Oh, and the woman who helped destroy your parents' marriage is sad now that she doesn't get to swoop in and play granny. Had her fuck off. NTA. Couldn't have said it better. This story cold played way differently. Father cold asked for a divorce if he didn't want to be together anymore and then begin a new relationship. A fair partner cold not be trash. Why anyone sleeps with a married person is beyond my comprehension. Even worse, why would she bully the mom? But no, their lacks of moral and total emotional negligence towards the children are not something one wants to relate to, let alone let them interact with your kids. NTA. NTA. After that he tracked me down on social media and started saying how he and his wife would love to be grandparents and how she was unable to have kids, so no bo grandkids and all that stuff. He only wants back in your life because his wife cannot have children of her own and they want to scratch the grandparent itch. There is nothing in his request that shows any remorse for what he did and what they put you through as a child. They are both selfish. You're absolutely right to keep your boys away from these toxic people, and I would block anyone who tries to convince you otherwise. Your estranged father and his wife made their bed when they embarked on their affair. Now they are going to have to line it. Now for the next story. AITA for asking my brother's entire family to move out because my nephew set my bathroom on fire for a TikTok. My 32F brother, 43 meters, his wife, 40F, and their 2 kids, 9F and 15 meters, have been staying with me for a little over 2 weeks now because they lost their jobs due to coronavirus and were evicted. 4 people is obviously a large addition, but I didn't want them to be homeless and they assured me it'd be a temporary stay. 2 days ago, my nephew set my bathroom on fire for a TikTok. From what he told me after, there's some kind of trend where you draw a shape on your mirror with hairspray and then you light it on fire and it's supposed to go out on its own without any damage. Well, his fire spread onto a nearby stack of towels and got out of control. We all had to evacuate, but luckily I live relatively close to a fire station, so the damage wasn't that bad. My guest bathroom is scorched and will need repairs, but the rest of my home is okay. I think that my brother and Sil had to have been wildly negligible to allow this to happen. especially considering the lighter he used was my brother's, meaning he must have taken it from him at some point. I'm asking them to leave within the next week, because I don't want to risk something of this nature happening again. They've apologized and asked me to reconsider, because it was an accident. No one was hurt in the end. They'd be homeless if I kicked them out now. And to think of my niece who did nothing. I'm not going to charge them for the repairs, because they flat out can't afford it. But I no longer feel safe living with them. Now for the judgment. NTA. He lit your house on fire for an internet trend. He's lucky he didn't kill someone. Sounds like someone dangerous to have in the house. NTA, if you don't kick them out now, they very soon stop being house guests and start becoming lodgers/tenants. That's a legal can of worms you don't want to go through to get someone terrifying out of your house. And your nephew clearly needs the parenting of seeing actions have consequences. He didn't do this in his own home. He did this to his host, which means he hasn't learned to respect others' belongings. You have given them shelter in an emergency and their kid lit your bathroom on fire. While it wasn't pyromania, it was done without thought of consequence. I would kick them out in normal circumstances, but it's a pandemic out. Punishment and restrictions for the boy are in order. AITA. I understand that you're upset, but making your family homeless because your teenage nephew was an idiot is a huge overreaction, unless you fill us in on some indication that the kid has shown no remorse or that the parents were meaningfully negligent here. Now for the next story. AITA for refusing to pay my daughter's college tuition after learning that she makes $5k/month on OnlyFans. My daughter, Jess, is a current junior in college. We have always had a very open family dynamic and my two girls have had no problems telling me what's on their mind because they know that I will support them no matter what. Sometime during the quarantine in the summer, Jess started an OnlyFans. I was definitely a little worried as I'm not familiar with the platform, and it seemed a little dangerous to me, but I trusted that she knew what she was doing as she's always been a smart girl. This winter break, Jess came home from college and excitedly told me that she's become quite popular on the site. She told me that she's built a huge following and is making a couple thousand each month. I was still a little wary about the whole thing, but was happy for her nonetheless. She kept me updated on her earnings throughout the last couple months and they've been climbing steadily. Now she makes $5,000 each month and she says she's expected to start earning even more. Jess has also been smart about the money and has been saving it up for her dream apartment after college. Now here comes the issue and the hard decision on my part. This September, my husband lost his job due to COVID and has been out of work since. Although we've always been able to manage, this has been putting a large dent in our savings. Despite this, we've never taken money out of Jess's college fund as we promised her we'd take care of it when she was younger. Her cost of attendance is around $30k/year, so we have about $45k left to pay. My husband and I considered the circumstances and ultimately we decided that the best solution would be to pay for Jess's upcoming semester and have her take care of her tuition for her senior year. That way, we can have a bit more cushion in the upcoming year to stay afloat while my husband looks for work. We brought this up to Jess and laid out all of our reasons, but she was extremely upset and felt that we broke our promise. She said that we wouldn't have been so quick to jump on this idea if she'd made her money through other, more hard-working means, and that she should never told me her earnings. Jess is no longer speaking with us. Are we the assholes for doing this? Edit. It seems that I may have painted our financial situation as more comfortable than the actual reality. We are struggling to stay afloat. We've cut our spending significantly, but at this rate, we could be behind on mortgage payments very soon and lose our home. Additionally, my husband has elected not to undergo an expensive medical procedure in order to not use up our savings any further. This entire time, both of us have sacrificed an incredible amount so that Jess can go through college worry-free. Now for the judgment. If she is making $5k per month, then she is an adult enough to pay for her education. This is a different time. You are hurting financially, and she is making about $60k per year. She can be responsible and take care of her education. You aren't judging her, you are making a decision based upon financial need, and she should understand that. If she's making $5k a month, why does she even need a degree? I have 2 and have never earned anywhere close to 60k a year. Clearly I've made some poor life choices. NTA. You had a life-changing event, the loss of your husband's job. Other students in her position would take students' loans. She's lucky that she has an income. She's upset and that's understandable. You're upset too because I'm sure this is not what you would prefer to do as a parent. Sadly, we are in the middle of a world crisis that resulted in the loss of your husband's job. It's more important than ever to have a cushion now. Now for the last story. AITA for refusing to babysit my dad's girlfriend's kids. Some background information. My 16F parents got divorced 2 years ago, and about 6 months after, my dad started dating his girlfriend. My mom is a science and math tutor, and I work at the same place as a math and reading tutor. Is an elementary school teacher with 2 kids, B, 10F, and A, 7 meters. My parents have split custody, so I spend 1 week at my mom's and 1 week at my dad's. With the way I'm doing school right now, I have biology the week I'm at my dad's and my other class the week I'm at my mom's. Because Em is a teacher, she really enjoys helping out with homework and tries to help me, even though she doesn't understand biology as well, because she teaches younger kids. I had a big project due this week, and I was struggling, so I called my mom for help yesterday. Em did not like this, and demanded I hang up the phone and ask her for help. She didn't understand the work, and left, so I ended up just texting my mom to figure it out. Because everyone is at home right now, I'm babysitting B and A while we are all on school calls, so if B or A have a question during the day, they come to me, because Em is teaching, and I tutor their grade. Em doesn't like this, and always tells them to wait until she is done teaching to ask her questions, but this isn't really a good option, because she is teaching for 6+ hours a day and they can't wait that long. She still does any homework with them, and gives them some activities she does in her class for fun. After she's done work, she came out of her office for lunch today, and saw me helping B with some work, and got mad, and told me to not answer any questions they have. I didn't listen, and continued to help them when they asked me. Now, here is where I might be tar. After dinner tonight, my dad said that Em told him about what happened, and I can't help B and A anymore, because they are Em's kids and what she says goes. I told him that if I'm not allowed to help them, I'm not going to watch them on their Zoom classes, because they will just distract me with questions I'm not allowed to answer. My dad basically said I'm enough of this, and it's not my job to parent Em's kids. AITA, now for the advice. NTA. They set the rules. They can't get mad when you decide to comply with them in ways they didn't expect. Exactly. Op gets told she can't do anything for the kids, so she decides not to do anything for the kids. Op, you're setting yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Your dad's girlfriend decided to have 2 kids and your dad accepted that when he started dating her and moved in together. It's on them to find a solution to their current problem, not you. If you want to watch the kids and dad and GF are fine with you handling homework when you are watching them, that's absolutely perfect, but they don't get to set arbitrary rules. Tell them it's either you watch them and help them as you are doing, or you don't watch them. This isn't a pick and mix shop. What gets me is she expects her children to wait 6 hours to get help with their schoolwork. They aren't going to remember their questions 6 hours later. She wants her kids' education to suffer for her ego. They probably already have to wait 6 hours during the week Op isn't there. Em needs to figure out a better solution so her kids don't have to wait. She needs to get over herself and quit acting like she's the only one who can help her kids and Opus. She shouldn't be trying to help Op when she doesn't understand, because she doesn't teach HS. She also has no right to demand Op not call her mom for help. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing, as it really motivates me to make more of these videos. Have an amazing day.